warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Azuliana Azmi. Today I would like to present my part for my project, which is for abstract. From this project, we generally need to identify the best properties of material for drum diaphragm and the drumstick as well. We discuss some materials that are relevant to the topic, which are aluminium, steel, and brass for the drum, while for the drumstick, there are wood, aluminium, nylon, carbon fiber, dowel, and root and brushes as well. We did comparison for each material of drum in terms of density for physical, while ultimate tensile strength, yield strength, elongation break, and Young modulus are for mechanical. For the drumstick, we tend to focus on their shock level, impact of vibration, and stiffness as well. From our research, we found that aluminium performed the best compared to the other two materials. Aluminium is the best material used to produce either the diaphragm drum or the drumstick. For the drum, aluminium has the lowest density and obviously show it is the lightest material and also have a higher yield strength to withstand stress without permanent deformation longer. However, for the drumstick, aluminium is incredibly fast stick with excellent rebound. It is also tougher and more durable. Though they have a larger initial cost, aluminium stick lasts many times longer than wooden equivalent. Thank you. And now for introduction. The snare drum or set drum is a percussion instrument that produces a sharp staccato sound when the head is struck with a drumstick, due to the use of a series of stiff wire held under tension against the lower skin. Snare drum are often used in orchestra, concert band, marching band, parades, drumline, and more. It is one of the central pieces in a drum set, a collection of percussion instruments designed to be played by seat drum and used in many genres of music. Snare drum are usually played with drumstick, but other beaters such as the brush can be used to achieve different tunes. The snare drum is a versatile and expressive percussion instrument due to its sensitivity and responsiveness. The sensitivity of the snare drum allows it to respond audibly to the softest stroke, even with a wire brush as well. It can be used for complex rhythmic pattern and engaging solos at moderate volume. Its high dynamic range allows the player to produce powerful accents with vigorous stroke and a thundering crack when rim-short strokes are used. Snare drum may be made from various wood, metal, acrylic, or a composite fire-black materials. A typical diameter for snare drum is 14 inch or 36 cm. Marching snare drum are taller in size than snare drum normally used for orchestral or drum kit purpose, often measuring 12-inch deep. Orchestra and drum kit snare drum shell are about 15 cm deep, and piccolo snare drum are even shallower at about 7.6 cm deep. Soprano, popcorn, and firecracker snare drum have a diameter as small as 20 cm and are often used for higher pitch special effects.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. My name is Amirul Azamudimullah bin Kamuruzaman. My matrix number CD180091. Today I will present my part introduction, problem statement, and objective. So for introduction, the snare drum consists of some components, including head, stainer, tension rod, rim, and beater. It has two heads, which are beater head at the top surface and snare head at the bottom. Each head is installed with tension rods located below them to hold the tensions in constant. while the beta head is surrounded by the metal ring called him, which also can be used to make piercing sound by beating it with the beater. This method of beating the other part of the drum, such as the rim, is known as rim shots. Beater like drumstick, brushes, rod, and hand can be used to play the snare drum. Different beater will produce different snare vibration, which eventually produces various tone. A drummer is not limited to strike the head, but also can hit the rim and the shell. The snare head will also vibrate when the beta head being stuck, which at the same time vibrate the snares and produces desired sound different with the other type of drums. Snare drum can be easily detected by its loud piercing sound. Thank you. And for the problem statement, this kind of drum had a difficulty in maintaining it in a good condition. It is because this drum require the most care and attention. The person who having this snare drum should be such as perfectionist, because they have to ensure that there is no any objects contact with the snare, and if one of stand becomes bent or king, then it should be cut off immediately. If we still keep it or make cause rattle and buzzing, that is definitely uncomplimentary to the drum sound. This drum must frequently clean to maintain the quality of it. How it happens is when we use them, the drum, thus and that will become lodged between the snare and drum heads, and it will affect the sound of the drum. For the objective, the purpose of this assignment is to study the material selection for diaphragm drum and drumstick. In this report, we will portray the material selection for this drum. First, to study about the musical treatment or instrument, which is snare drum and drumstick. And then second, to identify the best material used in the making of the snare drum. And lastly, to determine the exact material for construct the snare drum.
Hi, my name is Gan Chi Kyung. My matric number is 8180215. So today I'm here to present our discussion for the material selection project. Okay, for our discussion, drumstick is a type of percussion magnet used particularly for playing drum. So in this content, we are going to discuss about the difference between the material used for making drumstick. Drumstick generally has all of the following characteristics. So for the first, they are normally supplied and used in prayer. They are held in the hand, most often one in each hand. They are maybe used to play at least some sort of drum. They are normally used only for armpit percussion. Okay, the uh, for the first type of material making drumstick is the drumstick. Wood drumstick is the most common using by majority drummer. It it include almost three types. For the first is Hikoki. Hikori. Hikori. Hikori is a hardwood and will last longer than marble. Hickory is also very resilient and can absorb the shock by hard hitting drummer. So for the second type of the wood drumstick is a maple. Maple is 10% lighter than hickory, which alone Road drummers to use a larger diameter scale without it being too heavy. So for the last type is is Harvard World Ocean. So the extra density means Osting can withstand more in, intense playing style. So for the second material is aluminum. Aluminum is a surprisingly flexible material. So this combined with the hover design and the primer balance, this makes the incredible fast stick with the excellent rebound. So in addition, this made them surprisingly powerful and less physical effort. Physical effort. Aluminum drumsticks are taller and more durable than wood sticks. Although they have larger inertial cores, aluminum sticks last many times longer than wood equivalent. So for the third time is nylon. Nylon drumsticks are good in sounding on cymbal. Therefore, you want to use it if you do a loud or simple sounds. This is also more consistent than the wood stick. So for the next is carbon fiber drumstick. So for the carbon drumsticks have some advantage over wood, like the probably don't work, probably more consistent due to the manufacturing process. So, but carbon fiber provide overwork whatever this disadvantage like higher price and possible different sound or feel. So for the next is lower and loose. Lower and loose provide a lighter touch and a snap sound or cymbal. They are excellent for low volume practicing or for backing up a company's performance. Sometimes those have movable bands to adjust thickness and provide vibration in sound. Okay, for the last is a brush. Brush is a hammer or drums. All the drums players need producing a sourcing general sound. And some models are retractable or feature wearing blister materials well and the shape. So this is all for my part. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Muhammad Fidaus bin Supardi. My magic number is AD180176 and I am from group 8B. Today I am going to present about the discussions part of our group assignment, which is material selections of drum diaphragm in terms of properties, processing and cost of the material. So let's start with the material properties. The table shows the physical and mechanical properties of the material, which is steel, aluminium, and brass. So in this table, we list out the density, the ultimate tensile strength, yield strength, elongation break, and the Young modulus of the three material. So we do some analysis of the material, and we found that aluminium is the lightest among the three material, while for the tensile strength, the three material has almost same range, which is from 300 to 500 megapascal, while for the yield strength, aluminium is the highest and the Young modulus still is the highest. So roughly from the table, we can say that aluminium is the best because it has majority highest in all the physical and mechanical properties. So let's proceed with the material processing. So in order to produce a drum diaphragm, the cold rolling is chosen because it can produce a thin film of metal with great finishing and specific dimension. So when talking about cold rolling, the material to be used should have high ductility. This is because the material will undergo reductions in ductility when being processed in cold roller. So when we refer to the chart of the strength elongations, we can clearly see that the aluminium has the greater elongation. In other words, can be said that aluminium has higher ductility compared to the steel and the brass. So we can conclude that aluminium has the best sheet formability compared to brass and the steel. So last but not least, we will compare the material in terms of cost. So in general, among the three materials, steel is the cheapest, followed by the aluminium, and the expensive is the brass. In first sight, steel is the best in terms of cost, but when considering the applications for drum diaphragm, the yield strength of the material should be considered too. So from the analysis of the material done before, aluminium is the best, and when compared to the cost, aluminium still have affordable cost compared to the brass. So as the conclusions, our team is decide to choose aluminium for the material for the drum diaphragm. So that's it.
Conclusion. In this group project, our task is to design a diaphragm of a drum and the drumsticks in terms of material selection. For the drum diaphragm, we found that aluminium is the best material overall. This is based on the fact that aluminium have the highest yield strength. Aluminium is also the lightest, which will make the drum easier to carry and more portable. Next, aluminium excels as it has the highest ductility to ease the manufacturing process and thus reducing manufacturing costs. The material chosen for drumsticks are also aluminium. This is based on the low shock level transferred when the drumstick impact the diaphragm. Aluminium also have an excellent rebound and more durable. Lastly, by completing this task, we were able to solve different types of problems in terms of material selection.